The battle for Sojourner is a battle that must be won for history, truth in history, about a very important time in our history of women getting the right to vote, and really political activism for them to emerge from their state of inequality that had been long practiced in this country. And so I got involved in this because, and I got involved as a sort of adversary, in an adversarial way, because of my sister congresspersons, because they had already signed on to have Sojourner Truth raised from the basement of the Capitol, where it had been for 75 years. They had signed on, and I did not know fully too much about it until after our brunch. Our brunch takes place in September during the caucus weekend. The caucus weekend ends on Saturday, and every Sunday morning following that, people are hungry, sleep late, and our brunch is the right place for them to come and see everyone, greet everyone, say goodbye, and have all the key women of America there represented one time or another. And so I really, because of the work I do for the brunch, and then every other year we have a convention attached to that, I get so busy I don't pay rent, I don't eat, I don't pay bills, period, I should say. And I don't eat, I don't do anything but work a project. That's just me. And even when I was Secretary of State, I stay at my desk late at night. The only reason I leave because my secretary wouldn't leave. So I had to, leave to get her out of there before 11 o'clock at night. But anyhow, I'm very, very committed to an assignment or job, and I'll work around the clock to get it done. So I didn't look at my mail until around October. When I looked at the mail, I saw this Sojourner Truth literature and about what they were planning to do. And I saw the letter and I saw the names on it, and then I looked at the picture that they sent. And the earlier material they sent, I didn't see any picture. It was just the suffragette call, let's get the suffragist out of the basement and raise her in the Capitol where she belongs. So all the Congressional Black Caucus signed on, including all the women. So when I see it in October and decide to write the two ladies a letter, where is Sojourner? Because they had a picture now. And I said, where is Sojourner Truth? They wrote me back. And they said, yes, she does belong there, but, it's past and all this stuff. And but we will give you, let you have a picture of her up, at the celebration, because they were getting ready to celebrate it, and all of this, So I didn't accept that. So I wrote them back, and I told them no. I said, she has to be on there. And any dedication they had, we would picket it. And so we fought to stop it, but we couldn't. And I did get the support of the black women in the caucus, particularly Maxine and the lady from Texas. And they felt it was making them look bad because they had already signed approving it, and they didn't notice the omission. Now here I come and notice it, and I want to make a big deal of it, and they didn't like it. So I had them to fight, which I hated. So finally I had to go to them and tell them that, this was nothing to, to embarrass them. And I told them what the situation was. And I didn't notice it. If they had sent me something about just a suffragette, I would have signed too. But not when Sojourner, when the picture was put out. So anyhow, I had to take it on again by myself. But I did go and get 300 organizations to sign on. I had something made up, a very nice folder made up with the true story, full story, and sent it out. And we had two, the National Women's Party, who gave the gift to the Congress, to the Senate. And there was another lady and then the congresspersons and all the powers that be were for it to go in, you see. And two of them were Republican senators, Warner and a senator from Stevens from Alaska. So anyhow, I had to take it on by myself. And I finally was able to get them to answer me and tell me that they would have me on the program and all that kind of stuff, and I still rejected it. So they finally passed the bill so that they could get it moved, and I couldn't stop it. So what we did, we just picketed outside. When we picketed the dedication, we had one lady that I knew, a white woman, coming down the steps. And I said, "Why are you coming? Why aren't you in there?" She's the head of the National Congress of Women's Organizations. She tells me now there's 200 of them. They're mostly white organizations and about 10 blacks. We're one of the 10 blacks. So when you have that group, you see. And I found out since we started the new drive, we picketed outside the Capitol. It didn't matter. But they knew we were there. And she told me there was not a black person in there at the dedication. And someone must have loved us very much, because the form that I have on my brochure showing that big slab by itself is what they use for the celebration. They put that on the front of the paper of the invitation, so I don't believe they were for it either, coming out without Sojourner on it, because they have never shown a picture of that statue with that so clearly defined. So you can see that to show that somebody else belonged there. You could do that picture in so many ways you would never see that space. So anyhow, we continued on, and we did get a bill introduced in the Congress 2002. You know, every 2 years they change. And if you don't get a bill passed in those 2 years, you got to start it all over again. So we lost the votes for the first 2 years. I think it was 2002, 2004. No, 2000 and 2002, I think, and we didn't get it passed. We got the bill introduced. Now we introduced it again, and we have over 100 signatures now. And I've got the Senate lined up to put it in. So, and the people that were against us before with those two organizations, they're now with us. So we're sisters together. We celebrated this at the brunch last year. And now we have two senators I saw today. My two senators, Specter and Santorum. I saw another senator. So we have about 12 senators, and Hillary Clinton, we have word that she's going to sign. And so everybody knows about it. Jim Moran said he's going to. So we have, I think now, what we're going to need to get it passed. The only thing we have to do now is we have to get this at least passed by everybody by August or September, and then we have a chance to get it in. And I know we're going to get it in, because we're going to move this thing. You know, I was just so happy that all the congresspersons and senators, they're just saying yes, 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 because number one, they know in most states they have to support African women's events, because we are the difference in the defeat or the victory. So we feel good about it. Now, once that's passed, what the bill says is, we had 100 now that's on the congressional bill, but you have to have the Senate to do the same. But anyhow, what we have on that, the Senate, the Congress is saying to place Sojourner Truth, a likeness of her, in that space on the statue. See, that's what the bill says. So what we need now is, I think we need about 70. I don't know how many we need, but we're going to get that done. So that would be the greatest joy to me, that as I, move forward into this, what do you call this period of the seniors, the elderly, that we have her in there where she belongs. This Sojourner Truth.